Go crazy. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's wonderful. In the Veve verse, this gon' be my theme song. In the Matrix, I feel like I'm Neo. In my showroom, I got NFTs, so I've been gaming, look at all this crypto. Ready player one, we gon' run it up. Life feel like The Sims, I'm leveling up, oh yeah. But let's see my toe, I've been investing for a minute. AR glasses on my dome, feeding my vision. I'm on a blockchain in the space coupe. We do a show and turn it to venue, oh yeah. Digital skin, still I stay true. Immutable wax, brand new worldviews, oh yeah. Why me take off in my DeLorean? In the metaverse, but what were we in? In the Veve verse, we been going in. Homie went berserk when they phoned in. Yeah, okay, I gotta go get it. The Veve collectibles gone in a minute. You call me drop it, I cop it. Don't ask my budget, I don't have a limit. Get some digital land and rent it. Then you get up the percentage. In the Veve verse, we winning. Know how to play position. In the Veve verse, this gon' be my theme song. In the Matrix, I feel like I'm Neo. In my showroom, I got NFTs, so I've been gaming, look at all this crypto. Ready player one, we gon' run it up. Life feel like The Sims, I'm leveling up, oh yeah. But let's see my toe, I've been investing.
What's going on, Omi homies and Omets? Welcome to the stream. In today's stream, we'll be talking about the Veveverse. We'll be talking about what it is, what it isn't, and we'll also be talking about the new Cavernous AR, VR application, really a VR application, how that works with Unreal Engine. Is there going to be a partnership with Epic Games, with Veve? And also, how does Veve make it chain or engine agnostic? So like Unity and Unreal Engine. So we'll be getting into those details. I see a lot of people in the community doing their research, some amazing digging I've seen, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, what it is and what it isn't. And so yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right in. And let's welcome everybody to the chat. We have All Chat Gaming in the house, LFG, let's go, Red Circle Army, Daniel Marquez as well. And just want to do a quick member shout out as well. Let me go ahead and pull up my list here and slide on over here to the screen. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got the cam over there, side shot, so you can see the studio. We're rocking the studio over here today. The other day I had the old Christmas tree on the other side there. I just want to do a quick member shout out though before we get started. We got Jayco, NFT Hodler, Jim Canody, All Chat Gaming, Silver Smith Shield Ltd, SoCal Omi Homie, DJ Noel, VV Marcus, G Money, Kobe Collects, YouTube, 671, Vegisure, 281, Steven Friedlander, Steve Friedlander, Crypto Far West, Ernie Malice, Tommy, and Gertonian. Appreciate you for being channel members. And please do consider if you want to support the channel, but otherwise you can just like and share the video if you enjoy. Yo-Yo says, Omi Child, welcome to the chat. All right, so this is actually a video I want to cover at the end, which I actually haven't even reacted to this one. I just wanted to point it out. All right, so I haven't really got permission to share this one, but Omi Daily Burns did this video about Veve Mickey Sorcerer's Apprentice Burns finally revealed. So I do want to talk about that for after this video, but let's go ahead and get right into the topic at hand. Cavernous, Veveverse, let's dive in. All right, so we know that Veve is making this engine agnostic, and how they achieve that is it appears that they're using this company or platform called Cavernous. It's pretty sweet. You can just see in the background here how it works and some of these applications and how you can have these like avatars floating around and things like that. It even showcases Tilt 5, which I featured on my channel a year and a half or so ago on what the possibilities are in the Veveverse. So I've seen people talk about Tilt 5 just recently, bringing up some of the older types of things that we could see in Veve. Now, I do highly encourage you to check it out down here. I've covered quite a bit in terms of the Veveverse. So Veveverse Cracked, you just go to my channel and you can like search it using the, I think there's a search bar. If they don't have a search bar, then in where you can search videos, I think they used to, which is kind of a bummer if they don't have that. You can just control F it. Maybe I'll link it here in the description later on, but anyways, I showcased a lot on what is possible in the Veveverse. Like, I've done these videos like such a long time ago. I don't even remember which video it is. I think it's Veveverse Cracked. We'll cover that later though. But yeah, so Tilt 5 is like, they're building like these AR experiences and where you can play like games and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. You can see people's heads floating around. This is going to be interesting. We know we've seen Dan showcase this as well at the Decon event, where like you can have all those talking heads in the same area and vicinity, and you can hear each other voice chat. You know, we know that you stream video. As you can see here, like you can do corporate events. It looks like you can see Tilt 5, reinvent game night. Shows right there. So we were on the right track. We've been on the right track all along. A lot of people actually doubted all those videos I did. I got actually a lot of flack back in the day, but now that the Veveverse is out, we can see what's going on. We were on the right track, and I've been called Moon Boy. I've been given a lot of hate. Like, you guys don't even understand, for pointing out all this cool technology that looks like it's coming. I mean, look at this, like the Legos right there, the motors. I mean, it's all right there, right? You can see it looks like there's AR. It looks like that was kind of an AR shot. You can see the surrounding ecosystem. So we heard even David Yu talk about that last night in a Twitter space, how he carried around a shot where you could actually see the outside of the showroom, but you could see literally real life all around you. So yeah, that is exactly the direction the Veveverse looks like it's going in. So we were right all along on this channel for a year and a half, almost 2 years. So yeah, anyway, shout out to everybody here on the channel for supporting me this long. This is pretty exciting. So this is how they're going chain, or I keep saying chain agnostic because I'm like from the crypto space, engine agnostic. All right, which means they can port this to many different engines. We're going to scroll down. You can actually see a lot of these engines down below. You can see Unreal Engine, obviously owned by Epic Games. Let me see if we can actually Cavernous Metaverse Connector. So we can see here, it's basically like a plugin essentially. So it's like a low code plugin that connects to these different applications. I'm trying to find where you can actually see all the different companies or platforms they work with. You can see powerful features, the cloud, all this, right? All the stuff that Dan's kind of mentioned in his demonstration of the Veveverse. So we were all kind of wondering who they would partner with. This is interesting. I've actually, before this announcement, I didn't know that this company existed. I was thinking that they could go with Improbable, which is what Bored Apes are using, the Bored Ape Yacht Club universe, the other side or whatever. This is pretty sweet. I love the fact that this is actually engine agnostic. So let me see if we can pull up the platforms that this actually ports to, or that they've showcased here. You can see name your devices. Cavernous has you covered. Microsoft Windows, Apple, iOS, Android, MetaQuest, HTC, like all these headsets and all that good stuff. Let me see if it keeps going. Mixed reality. So right there, mixed reality. You can see there. Magic Leap. We talked about Magic Leap like a long time ago on the channel. Firefox, Chrome, Safari. And yeah, so you can see some of those different headsets and things like that. Different devices. They also have like the platforms, I believe, as well. Let's see if I can find it here. You can sign up for a beta. Look at this. Instantly add voice and video streaming. Instantly connect in real time. Yada yada. All right, so we're gonna get into this. I saw this video. I think Crypto Show 84, I believe, is the channel that showcased this. Now, this was on the Unreal Engine YouTube channel. So this was on the YouTube channel. Now, this was Cavernous, so this doesn't mean that this is native to Unreal Engine, basically. Like, it ports to Unreal Engine, but this was a showcase showing one of their builders, which is aka Cavernous, that connects to Unreal Engine and how Cavernous works. So again, this is Cavernous and how they
we have something where
how they deploy into Unreal Engine. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to fast forward a little bit through this talk and things like that. So you can see here some of the slides on this presentation. Collaboration in the metaverse has arrived. Developers and content creators are flooded with the opportunity to build collaboration and metaverse solutions for brands and enterprises. Problems hard. The solution, the Cavernous Metaverse Connector for Unreal Engine. So again, it's connecting to Unreal Engine. Instant multi-user support for your application or use of Unreal Editor in the cloud or on-premise with the voice and video desktop sharing, dynamic content insertion, persistent worlds, and collaboration. AKA persistent worlds means metaverse, right? All right. So that's what that looks like here. You can see some of the other slides and information. For people that like were saying like, oh, it's not going to be like high quality, think again, because look at this. This showcases actual, brands. Like this is a demo, obviously, but like you can see that this is pretty high quality stuff. You can see literally, if this is going to be ported to Unreal Engine, you'll have those cool, graphics and baking or whatever you call it. Now, a lot of people that are unfamiliar with like Unreal Engine 5, like of course you have the nanite technology, you have like light baking in different like worlds and things like that, where instead of like the light, like you having to like program the light in a certain direction, like the light will follow you around, like shadows and movement. Like, I think Trevor's talked about that a little bit in the past in terms of like lighting, and mainly in Unity. He's a big Unity guy, but obviously the Veveverse will be in Unity too, but there's different unique features in Unreal and vice versa. In Unity, you can basically achieve the same. You can achieve the same thing. It's just the default settings is in Unreal Engine, according to like Trevor, right? Now, okay, so this is kind of like the application. So you can see here, Cavernous Spaces, third-party applications, and the Unity Engine plugin, and then in the UE editor, Unreal Engine plugin. So it's a plugin, right? So the top layer or layer 1 is going to be Cavernous, right? And the second layer is going to be Unity or Unreal and things like that. And then you have the SDK, API, and scripting, which will probably allow for like creators and things like that to create and do all that fun stuff that we've heard Dan Crothers talk about. So, all right, so moving on to this one, you can see here like space creation, like I just mentioned, all that good stuff. We're not going to get into too much of that. You can see Cavernous Core microservices. These are like pretty much your back-end type of systems, like your analytics. This is rendering. Like this is the stuff that you don't need to know as a user, so we're gonna kind of skip that. You can see like they just go into talking about how it works with Unreal Engine. You can see here that this is an actual plugin. I know people were like freaking out that this said Veveverse right here. This is like what the project they were currently working on, Cavernous. So again, this is a plugin that works with Unreal Engine. That's how this works. So you can see the Veveverse, and that's how it will work. So now in terms of Epic Games, so you can see Epic Games right here. I know people were kind of freaking out about that, but with Epic Games, they're allowing, so if you're new to like Web3 in terms of Epic Games has announced support for Web3. So that means games that have NFTs can basically appear on the Epic Games marketplace. So personally, myself, I've actually played quite a few titles already on Epic Games marketplace. So we'll slide on over to Twitter real quick, and I'll show you my latest tweet. So we're gonna come over here, and actually this was not the tweet. Let me see here if I can find it. I actually just replied to a couple of people here on Twitter. Let's see if I could find it. Okay, yeah, here. So Mav or Kishelip on Twitter. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but this is kind of, I kind of addressed it here so you can see, some of the games that are already on Epic Games. So Epic Games is allowing Web3 projects and games on Epic Games Marketplace. I played Play Blancos, My Pet Hooligan, and Play Imposters on there in terms of Web3 games. And also Illuvium is building. I worked for Illuvium for a while. They're also building in Unreal Engine 5 and will probably be on the marketplace, just like Veve, right? And here's where I kind of clarified as well on that, how that will work. So yeah, that's like these games are already on. I think this was actually technically the first game on Epic Games as a Web3 game. So and then My Pet Hooligan, I tried an alpha. So this is the kind of what I've been telling you guys is like, I'm pretty experienced when it comes to alphas and betas. I've tested a lot of games in alpha and beta just this past year, and I came from the software as a service space. So I kind of have a lot of experience in terms of like how the kind of the pipeline works. I'm not a developer, so like in terms of game development, don't ask me questions like about that and how to like develop in Unreal. Like I just know the general process. So I'm definitely far from being an expert in terms of dev, but like, yeah, this is one of the games that was on the platform. I believe Star Atlas was too. You could sign up for that. They have like a showroom walkthrough in Star Atlas, which is another game. So that's kind of like what we'll probably see. We'll see more games and applications coming to the Epic Games Marketplace. So if you haven't downloaded Epic Games Marketplace or the Epic Launcher, I would definitely recommend you kind of get used to that. It'll be probably like the Steam. You can see here the web app launcher. Let me make sure it doesn't have any of my like personal info on there. Super quick. So let me pull that up. So it's asking me to sign in. We'll just skip that for now, of what that looks like. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself and just download it for yourself. So let's get back into this. All right. Cross-platform is nuts. Yeah, totally agree. What's cool, what actually was interesting more to me is the Lidar. This is actually, I think, more interesting to me than anything else. Lidar point cloud. So this is showing me that they're working with Lidar technology. I think this was the actual golden moment nugget here in this whole video is this Lidar. So I don't know exactly, like for you guys that are detectives or maybe Crypto Show 84, if you're watching, this is what I would definitely look into is what this was all about, because this could lead to more clues about the Veveverse itself and the mixed reality portion and the AR portion that Cavernous is working on. So this was the actual golden nugget for me in terms of this video here. So yeah, if you guys want to look into that, definitely do that. We'll pull up Crypto Show's YouTube channel here in a little bit, and he's been digging quite a bit. But just wanted to update everybody on like what this all it is and what it's not, things like that. So let me see if there's any other slides. You can see this is just they're running the Unreal Engine editor here. Now these are just assets in Unreal, so this isn't like too bonkers. You can see this Cavernous. Now I'll have to go through and watch the entire, actually I haven't watched the entire video. You can see your Cavernous metaverse platform, any device, any content, co-present and persistence, cloud or premises, API, SDK integrate into your workflow and existing systems. And you can see all that neat stuff there. And that's kind of like their demo that they were showing. This was only 3 weeks ago, so this is pretty fresh. You can see the quality here once again, and you can see here as well, like Unity. So you can see Unity in Unreal right there, like how, you know, it kind of looks a little different. So this is just another presentation with the CEO and co-founder at a global summit back a year ago. So you can see, like, if you want to learn more about Unity and Unreal, you can just check that out. Kind of the differences here, side-by-side comparison. So that's what that looks like. Now, Unreal is like, it appears like, according to Trevor, right, the ex production manager or whatever for Veve, he, you know, explained a lot about the differences between Unity and Unreal. Basically, all the things in Unreal are pretty much the same, achievable in Unity. They're just not like turned on automatically, according to what he was saying. So I've seen high quality Unity stuff. So this doesn't showcase Unity too well in a sense. So I haven't seen this full demo as well, but you can, if you want to learn more about that, you can. They have a whole YouTube channel as well. AEC AR visualization as well. This is going to point to more clues as what we can do with Veve. You know, take it on the go, AR, VR, and you can see here as well. And the different use cases. And let's get to the avatars. All right, this is another one I saw that popped up, was the avatars. Avatars will be, in my opinion, I covered this in a stream, and I've covered Ready Player One, like when it was basic. They had no integrations. I covered Ready Player One, or Ready Player Me, about a year and a half ago. They weren't integratable with Nemesis. They didn't have NFTs. They didn't have Somnium. I think the only thing they connected to was like VR chat, and maybe like, I don't think they even had spatial at the time. So they've came a long way. I mean, and they've updated quickly and fast. And maybe this was always in the roadmap, but I just like a year and a half ago, again, they just didn't have all these integrations. They didn't have NFTs, but you can create your own avatar on here, so you can customize your look. It'll show you how many avatars you created, apps connected down here. You can go to discover apps. You can see all the different applications. Obviously, spatial's up there. Veve is probably going to be up there too. I mean, Veve is like, they're going to be one of their biggest showcases. So you can see all the different apps here. So you can just scroll down. I mean, it's quite a bit. Virtual worlds, VR apps, AR apps and games, business and productivity, utilities and tools, social, like, I mean, gaming. I mean, it goes on, right? This list literally, guys and gals, this was like just VR chat back in the day. Like, none of these, like, all these are fairly new, like the Nemesis, Spatial, Somnium, like these are all Web3, like metaverses, for example. There's maybe like, there's only a couple back then, just a year and a half ago. But yeah, you can change your wardrobe. So you can connect your MetaMask or a NAMI wallet, I guess, or enter a redemption code, and you can update your avatar. So for those of you that were wondering, you know, if you can have wearables in the Veveverse, it looks like you might be able to. Now, again, I covered that in the one of the streams just recently. Let me go back to my feed here and show you this little tweet. So it says, in case you're wondering if Veve will have wearables in the Veveverse, they most likely will for your avatar. Cover this in the recent stream about the Ready Player Me NFTs. And I said, obviously there would be nuances to this. Veve would still have to work with licensors and or could drop their own IP. So that could be an interesting case there for Veve to do, is dropping their own NFTs. Now, let me see if I can go to the regular website portion of Ready Player Me. So you can see here, you got Deadmau5, you got these different avatars. So this is obviously alluding to, you know, different skins and, you know, customizable experiences. So you can see here, Snake Collection, you have Meta Fashion right here, Head 5, you have Ready Player Me, Punks. So I would expect more of this, right? Maybe even a Genie's. I could easily see a Genie's, you know, application in here as well, because we know that Bob Iger is back at Disney. And somebody actually said, Smells Fun said, I'll bet that Disney is lining up paired apparel for Avatar and the park. And I totally agree. I think Disney will have their own experience in Veve. If they don't, I think it'll be a big miss for them. But I think with Robert Iger at the helm, I think they'll do that. I even think David Hugh himself hinted at that last night as well. So I definitely think we'll see those big time experiences in the Veveverse, kind of like in their own ecosystem. And I do believe we'll see Disney avatars and wearables and things like that on Ready Player Me. If I was Disney, I would just buy the Ready Player Me platform, like straight up, right? Now, I don't know if they will, but if I was Disney, this could be a play, you know, buying this, because it's integrating with so many different other metaverses. So like I just showed you, Hyper World, Somnium, like the Nemesis VR chat, or they could just drop their own, wearables. So this could be something that they could just easily just drop a bunch of like licensed wearables in the metaverse. And this is the direction I think Bob Iger will go in, and maybe he could scale that up. There's going to be a lot of things like they'll have to navigate. Maybe they'll lobby, our legislators to speed this like innovative process up. But this is just inevitable. I've been saying this for a while on the channel, as you know, if you've been watching, I've been talking a lot about this, and this is we've been exactly on point where the metaverse is going. And people are like, oh, we don't know yet what the metaverse is. And I'm like, we do. It's like, people just want to make it to like the metaverse isn't anything and it's going to fail. It's absolutely not going to fail. It's absolutely already here. It's just on the builder level. Everybody's building, right? And from there, it's just a launch pad for everything else. And we're seeing it right now play out with these wearables. We see it with Bob Iger. We see it with the Veveverse. And people are like, well, why spend time in the metaverse? Well, you could look at VR chat and see that there's already thousands and thousands of people already in VR chat. There's people in there's people in Somnium, there's people in Spatial. And if you looked at the just the beta testers in the other side, that was a Bored Ape Yacht Club metaverse, tens of thousands of people joined that, right? And people are like, well, what would encourage people to continue to do that and make it a sticky experience? Social, easy said. And I think that's all you need. So social media will become transition, and this is why Facebook knows this. Okay, Facebook knows that the metaverse is going to be successful because it's social at its base level, and then you can build upon it, like the economies of it, blah 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 blah. But the base and core of it is Facebook knows that the metaverse is going to be social, and that's what makes it sticky. And yeah, so that's, once you add games to the metaverse, it's really game over. Because if you add games to an already sticky experience, now the metaverse just became even more sticky and even less reason to go on these old Web 2 experiences, right? So that's kind of what I see, in my opinion, in terms of the metaverse, where it's going, how it will play out. You could literally just add, like, you don't need a AAA game in the metaverse for people to have fun. You just don't. I know people think that if you're like a hardcore gamer, maybe you think that, but literally you're like less than 1% of 1% of like the whole masses of 99%, right? People don't need AAA game experiences. Now, however, I will say those are absolutely definitely encouraged, because those like obviously are like blockbuster hits, and obviously that's like a big deal, right? Like I worked at, for instance, Illuvium. Web3 needs AAA games like Illuvium, especially to showcase like what's possible and to encourage other game studios and big game studios to come into the space so that everybody wins. And we're starting to see that, right? But yeah, if you look at mobile games, for instance, mobile games have 70% market share in the entire gaming sector. And 70%, that is insane. And also, gaming has already dwarfed music and movies as the primary form of entertainment and will continue to grow year over year. So yeah, like in terms of the metaverse, all you need is you have the social. If you add a couple of games in there, it's literally just game over. And that's what I see is going to happen. And they could even do it seamlessly, right? Like, say if you have like an arcade, you go up to it in the metaverse, you're like, oh, I want to play. And then that connects you, and then an app launches on your computer and pulls up like that game launcher. So they could do, there's interesting use cases there that they could implement into like the wider games. Like, hey, we're all hanging out in the metaverse. By the way, you want to slide over here like on this console and play a game? And then boom, it launches like the Call of Duty Modern Warfare like launcher or whatever. I could see that easily being a thing, because that's like a seamless way to just go about your life in the metaverse, right? So I could see that being something. Yo, what's up, Willow Kid? How are you? You still on your Pokemon game, man? It's a long time no chat. I remember you. I thought you were one of the Pokemon collectors. Let me know what you're seeing over there in the Pokemon land. I haven't covered Pokemon in a while, but I know that they're kind of working on getting their assets in the metaverse, or at least the AR and I think it was like Niantic, like Pokemon type of stuff. Obviously, we know that Pokemon Go, but in terms of maybe some other things, let me know if you see anything over there. I would love to pick your brain on, you know, watching Pokemon and seeing what they're doing in terms of the AR and VR metaverse. So yeah, all in all, this is basically, let me see, let me pull this up here. This is kind of like, just to educate everybody, like what the metaverse is, or what Veve's doing in terms of like Cavernous and how they're integrating with, like, you know, Epic Games, for instance. So it's like a plugin. So that's kind of what it is. And, you know, the first slide kind of shows exactly that's what it's going to be. And you can even see like the different render here, Cavernous on their YouTube channel, showing a side by side. So we know that they're going to be engine agnostic. This is where Veve is going to be building, is the Cavernous, and then it's connected into those two different engines. Also, avatars, I think they're coming. I think it's just a matter of time. You know, working with licensors and things like that, or maybe they drop their own unique IP, which would equally be insane. All right, so Veve drops their own unique IP. That could be big. All right, that could be really big. We've seen very successful launches of platforms launching their own unique NFTs and things like that, and they always do super well. Look at the Veve golden logo. It's not even a cosmetic. It's just a logo, and it's already done super well. So I would imagine that they could do this, and I don't know if they'll give those skins or characters or wearables utility, but it would still be a flex. I'm a gamer. I came from Fortnite, where skins, weapons, and things like that are a flex in the game, and we know that Fortnite in itself is basically like a metaverse. Now it's still kind of a game for the most part, but we've seen it play out like a metaverse, concerts and reveals and things like that in Fortnite. I came from Fortnite Season 1, so I'm very familiar with Epic Games, Fortnite, and how this all works. So now, getting over to Omi Daily Burn. I haven't watched this video, but he mentions here, Veve Mickey Sorcerer Apprentice Burns finally revealed. So I wanted to check that out. I haven't watched the full video, but I encourage you to watch that. That's kind of big news. If that's true, if they are burning the Sorcerer Apprentices, I would definitely highly check that out, because that could be big news for Disney folks out there collecting Mickey Sorcerers in those, collectible statues. I think those will be big. I think people are sleeping on some of the collectibles that I think will be big in the Veveverse, when there's literally millions of people in the Veveverse one day. I think there will be. And I think, to Cavell's point, that, you know, he's always talking about how Veve could be a $1 trillion company. There's probably some good reason to believe that. So we'll look at Apple's market cap. Now, I know this is like a Moon Boy comparison, but we're gonna pull it up anyways, right? 22.36 trillion. So now Veve is super early, like infant days. Like, we all know this, right? There's a lot that has to happen before Veve is a $1 trillion company, right? All the cards have to be played right. Like, everything has to work out. The metaverse has to work out. Like, they have to get the users. There's a lot, right? There's a lot, but it could be possible. Now, I am kind of more on the reasonable side. Like, let's look at Facebook market cap. All right, so Facebook market cap is 295 billion. So in terms of that, I think that's like more of a good comparison. I know that even that's like pretty Moon Boy, but that's like, Facebook has dropped quite a bit this past year. So price is like 3 times like less than what it was in September, which is absolutely insane. So they were, I guess, close to 1 trillion. So they shaved off quite a bit. But yeah, maybe one day Veve does compete with Facebook, or Meta in this case. So yeah, I mean, you just never know with these types of projects, when you're talking about startups and social startups, and now we're talking about the metaverse, and we're talking about avatar. Like, this is the stuff of the future, and I could definitely see that being the case one day. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it's a long ways to go, but I think that's where Cavell was like drawing comparisons. I know he doesn't really showcase the market caps of like in real world companies, and we still have to go through crypto regulation, which is another whole topic in itself. But maybe one day that's the case. Now, I don't want to over Mood Boy. I don't even know why I brought that up. I just wanted to bring it up. So yeah, check out Omi Daily Burns video though. See what that's all about. I know he's like on the come up here. 593 subscribers. He's always posting burns on Twitter and things like that. So give him a follow. Crypto Show 84. This guy's doing some pretty good research, I noticed.
And welcome.
Oh, let me pause that a little bit. He's been checking a lot about more the tech side of things. So my man Non-Fungible was kind of doing a lot of this, and I don't know what just happened there. Okay, there we go. So you can kind of see he's been doing like some good work here in terms of some of the different things he's looking at. Some of it's you know, in terms of like this you know, engine. Yeah, I just wanted to like cover off what that looks like, but just wanted to point out he was doing some good videos on that. But you might want to check him out as well. And yeah, in case you didn't know, like, you know, my experience in all this is like I've worked at you know, Illuvium, Miria, and things like that, and literally worked in the gaming industry. So that's how I just wanted to share a little bit of my knowledge, like how that works and all that good stuff. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about Unreal, UE5, you know, all that good stuff. Now, I'm not a game dev, definitely not going to speak towards that. Like maybe I'll bring on like Kay or maybe even Trevor on some other topics like that. Hey, I'm live right now.
Oh.
Yeah, so go on.
Okay, Dada.
Yeah, wave at the camera. Wave at the camera. But that's a wrap right there. I think that's a good point we can call the stream at anyways. Got the daughter in, she waved. I think that's a good point of ending it. 3GP Media, what up? Hey, good to see you. Thank you all, Chat Gaming. Congrats, Will. Oh, yeah. Let me see here. My love for Pokemon will never die. I haven't heard much, but I also haven't kept up very well or gone digging for any info on Web3 executions. It's been a busy month. Just got married on the 4th. Okay. Congratulations, man. That's exciting. Yeah, congrats to that. Yeah, keep me updated. You know, if you see anything, just tag me on Twitter. Always keen to see what the Pokemon brand is doing and where they're going in terms of like AR. Obviously they are going to go AR, but are they going to do something like this? Maybe they don't do NFTs at first, because this isn't necessarily aimed specifically at NFTs, right? This could be some pretty neat cases for even Pokemon to use a platform like this to fully immerse users in these cool experiences and things like that. Yeah, so we'll see. Maybe they'll develop their own things. I know they've taken a lot of their like outsourced resources and have like basically like, you know, made everything internal. So which is kind of interesting. So maybe we'll see them do like some more of their own things. So we'll see though what Pokemon is up to. Thanks for the stream, said Daniel Marquez. Hey, appreciate that. No problem. I'm doing dad stuff too. Have my 2-year-old daughter. Yeah. Hope WU is the one to give me a Pokemon update. Yeah. Yeah, me too. You and me both. But yeah, you can see some of these cool use cases. This kind of looks like the Game Maker and like the Hunger Games. I'm not going to lie. But it's still pretty cool. You can see this different gigabytes, maybe data management. This would be good. Obviously this is good for like, you know, keeping people safe as well, like health wise. Like if anything ever, like if we had anything ever break out, like you could easily just continue your work in the metaverse. So these are cool applications that you can see the Internet of Things here. This is pretty interesting, like real rendering. I guess it integrates with Slack. Here's the AR VR. So this is what I was talking about, the ecosystem in the background. You can see ecosystem in the background. Here's the AR side of it. You can see that they like building a house, what that may look like. Overlooking like this like Minecraft looking thing. So you can see in the background again, the ecosystem, what the construction may look like. So this is what I was talking about, how real use cases in real life. This is what I've been trying to talk about on the channel and portray, like why I think AR is massive for real life applications. So obviously we know entertainment is going to be huge, but anyways, very cool, right? Very, very cool. All right, y'all, that's all I got though. That's a wrap. I'll see you in the next stream at the blockchain. Be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll catch you later. Peace.
I'm looking better with every level and debit is ever whatever they tether you. Trending the setter, I'm pulling the lever. My flip game is better, your compass forgettable, man. True tech, I'm thinking it's gonna need a movie, yo, fan. On me, how even Kenobi, like when do we land? They tryna pump it, suddenly everyone want it. I got my seasons one stack to a summit. In a whip leaning out the window screaming, honey, sonnet, 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 sonnet. Man, I'm about to have some fun with anybody think they want static.
On the moon, it was no accident. Got that on me, I am so passionate. Diamond hands, I